appreciate it. But women are freaked out by it, you know, and it moves women on such a deep level, all kinds of women from all different walks of life.
By teaching them how to control their bodies, they were able then to take control of their personal space and their world and their life.
We're changing how we feel about ourselves, how we think, how we breathe, how we move. And you know what? These women go home and their chins are high.
We need more feminine energy in this world. There is a lot of fear out there, a lot of fear of the unknown when it comes to Middle Eastern culture.
The everyday making a living of it can be pretty strenuous.
I don't want anyone's wife to feel bad about what I'm doing.
In our society, in our culture, we interpret anything with the body as being sexual. And I think it's a deeper topic.
The human body moving well is beautiful.
Remember, at the end of the day, we're putting something out to the public, and we're hoping they walk out going, what a great show, I'm glad I came, I'm going to tell all my friends. And at the same time, if now it's more respectable, and people go, you know, it isn't something that happens in the restaurants and people throw money to, this is actually something one can respect, then hey, everybody's won. Right?
Part1 is a company that we formed 5 years ago, which is a record company, mostly world music, and now it's heavily influenced on Middle Eastern music.
Music had morphed as rock and roll has. It's advanced and it's absorbed, and has become a really strong creative force.
Miles, he managed the biggest and most successful band of the 80s, the Police.
What's this? Are you filming me? Have you got the rights? Have you got the rights to film me? Have you got a contract? You know that there's no filming on me, buddy.
You know, early on, he's as a kid, because he's a lot older than me, and by the time my eyes blinked open, he'd already decided he was not a musician. He was a purveyor of music, infected by the stuff that somewhere along the line figured out he couldn't make it himself, but he could sure package it. And so even when I was a kid in high school, he ran the light show.
He created the most, one of the most successful independent record labels ever, IRS, which is home to REM, the Go-Go's, Fine Young Cannibals, the Cramps, the Buzzcocks, all these bands that no one would touch at the time.
The challenge is always to take something that's a bit new and bring it to the marketplace when the marketplace has no real avenues for you to enter. I had the same problem when I was working with the Police and the punk rock bands in the early days, where there were no radio stations that played punk rock, other than little college stations. So there were avenues, but they were all kind of tiny.
And then from that Middle Eastern music, we're now evolving that to these different aspects of that music, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this belly dance.
So if I can use the music to create visual properties. If we have Jelina's instructional video, that would be great. Documentaries, DVDs, whatever. And I can sell tickets, then we really have something as a business, because we have to change as a business. The old business that we used to have of selling CDs, that's really going before our eyes. So I'm morphing the company into being an entertainment company, where we're providing entertainment, and we have to reach the mainstream. The spin-offs of something like this are going to be, Desert Rose perfume, nice. Belt scarf, you have your jeans and you throw these on. They sell for $40, He can print whatever we want on here. Kind of took the analogy of Riverdance, where they took Irish music and Irish dance, and that really seemed to work. And I noticed that sales of Irish music really increased after Riverdance. So you thought, interesting. The plan is to find 12 girls who will be the basis of a show featuring Arab dance and Arab music. You know, the thing about the show is Arabic music is a very, very infectious and uplifting music. But it's not necessarily something that you could go to an American audience and say, come and see an Arab music show, particularly in the climate that we're in right now.
Miles grew up in the Middle East. His father was with the OSS, which is the precursor to the CIA. His father is very, very famous and very well respected, and known, as far as I know, for being an out-of-the-box thinker.
There's a lot more interest in Arabic music, but there's always the question mark of, you know, is it something that we should be listening to or not? You add the dance to it, and all of a sudden it becomes something that's more acceptable because now it's a show. We think we can end up with something that will be a great show, which will help promote the music. And in some ways, too, with all this stuff going on politically, it might actually act as a bridge between the cultures to show that there's something, you know, inherent in every culture that's good.
We always focused a lot on trying to reach people overseas. Obviously, the last couple of years, there's been a huge focus on the Middle East. There was some very limited thinking ideas about taking U.S. or Western artists to that part of the world as a sort of a goodwill gesture. One of the most interesting things Miles said to me, which I hadn't heard from anybody else, the United States government, particularly with young people, can't go into a country and just talk about themselves. And there is some extraordinary music and dancing and other entertainment media from the Arab world that is extraordinary. And he says if you all can find ways to demonstrate that the United States has respect and appreciation for what they're doing and things that are important to them, you'll go along a lot further. And that was significantly more sophisticated than what we were doing.
I had a dream that one day all the countries will be ruled by poets, musicians, and dancers. As an Arab woman, I am very proud that a festival like this, like Rakasa, exists in the United States, so that I'm able to share and inspire a renewed interest in the beauty and the sophistication of my culture, the Arabic culture.
The correct name is oriental dance. In Arabic, it's called raqs shar'i. Raqs means dance, shar'i means oriental or east.
Unfortunately, it's even called belly dancing, because it's like calling flamenco dancing feet dancing, or ass shaking, you know, belly dancing. There's a lot more going on than the belly, you know.
The misnomer belly dance, that came from a man named Saul Bloom in 1893 at the World's Fair in Chicago.
Ask Granddad if he remembers the Midway at the Chicago World's Fair in '93. Here's the girl who made it famous with her spangles and her smile.
He needed to make sure that they made a profit, and nobody was coming to see the ethnic dances. In 1893, you didn't even dare say arm or leg, you said limb. So to say belly was like,